Genesis Battle of Champions is a tactical collectible card game wherein you move a champion around a gridded board, pay resources to use skills and summon creatures to help fight in your battle, and outmaneuver and attack your opponent with the hopes that you reduce their life to 0. The Genesis Battle of Champions beta 2-player starter set gives you everything that you need for you and a friend to jump in and play the game together. So let's jump in and take a look at what we actually get inside of the box. When you open the box after taking off the plastic, the first thing you see are these two half play mats. I say they're half because each of them on their backside make up a gridded board that you would use to play, but on the other side it has a quick start rules guide allowing you to read up on how to win the game, how to construct a deck, how to go about playing the entire game. So you can use both of those. As well, in the box we find some pretty heavy feeling D6s that we will use to track our health, and these little pretty tokens that we will use to track which of our creatures have moved and exerted themselves. We also have 2 booster packs within the box, which is pretty fun to go through and open, as well as a bunch of wrapped up cards. These are not individually wrapped decks, as you may at first think. In fact, you actually get a bunch of champions within this first pack that we're going to open. You get 8 total champions. Rather than just getting a themed deck for each champion or for 2 champions, you're going to get 8 total champions and a bunch of cards with which you can create your own decks. So here we have Idris, which is a champion within the game that you're going to be getting, as well as Malik, followed by Nubia, which has just the most epic artwork. I think that's already my favorite. We have Raha. We also get Kendra as a champion. Rain, which also has amazing artwork. Fang with some pretty cool sword stuff going on, and Long as well. You can see that these are champions because in the bottom center they had a different symbol. Now we're on to the remainder of the cards within this first pack. And again, you can use multiples of these cards to create decks, hence why they've given you multiples. And there's an exhaustive list written on the back of the starter set that I'll go ahead and read while you look at some of the art as I go by. You're going to get 5 air elementals, 2 air shields, 3 angels kiss cards, 2 defensive practices, 6 guided arrows, 4 shoulder throws, 3 thrusts, and these are all skills and other cards that you can use that you're going to use to build your deck. As well as some of these are creatures that I've mentioned, like the air elemental. You get 3 concussion punches, 3 dodges, 5 earth elementals. There you see a Death Eater on screen, and you see in the very center bottom that color. That's an uncommon card because it's a green color. You also see that the blue represents common. Look at that Skeleton King art. That is amazing. Some underworld knowledge. And then you also get these aura cards, which are sort of like one of the resources that you can pay in the game. You have a starting amount of these. There in the bottom right, it'll show you how much aura that card is worth and how much you would expend to do things. And in the very back of these 2 decks, you have these really interesting tip cards, which are essentially little cards that you can have off to the side to help you remind yourself what maybe the order of the turn is, or just giving you little tips, which again are printed on that mat that I showed you, those 2 mats, but the 2 mats themselves, if you're using them to play, you can't flip them over. So those tip cards are nice to have and handy to have off to the side in a pinch. So as I mentioned, we do get 2 booster packs along with this 2-player starter set. So let's jump through these, see kind of what we get. So right off the top, we have Mind Reading, which is a common. You can see in the bottom center, it's got a blue symbol. Gust, followed by Future Sight. All of these are commons because they're blue. Dedicated Studies with cool artwork. Careful Consideration, also cool art. And then we have Raha, which is a champion. There you can see the champion symbol. And Holy Wall, which is a rare because you can see the both it says rare on the card and it's also yellow. Uncommon Underworld Dealings here as well. Uncommon Lambs for a Slaughter. Cool art there. Man, the art on this, back to commons now, the art on this is a really interesting mix of like some like late 2000s Magic the Gathering feel mixed with like some D&D stuff. I really enjoy it. As just across the board, I think it's really, really pretty to look at. It feels very theme and unified, which is really cool. It's to the theme, and it does all feel like it works together. There's no one card that I've come across just yet that really feels out of place, and I really enjoy that. Speaking of cool cards, Essence Drain, Dark Strength. Water Elemental is a summon that you can put on the board. Trudge, followed by Teleportation, and Rain, another really cool champion art. Primordial Force, look at that thing, that's crazy. You can tell it's a rare. Quicksand is an uncommon. Archon of Light, Angel's Kiss again, followed by Jalarian Waters. Cross Punch, two dudes just hitting each other. Nature's Reclaim, Mythical Protection, Jump, it's literally just a card with a dude jumping. Jump to finish the pack. So again, here's a picture of the rare. Here you can see it a little more clearly, and then that's the champion that comes in each pack. So it does appear that you could just try to buy packs and create anything that you would want to as far as a deck from packs without having to pick up some like starter set. Obviously, you can get D6s on your own, and you can find your own little tokens to put on your cards to show that they've done their action that they've exerted. But the fact that this is all in one box, and it does give you two little booster packs to kind of get your feet wet in the game, is pretty sweet overall. If you're curious as to the cardstock quality in general, it feels pretty good overall. You can feel a little bit of the punch on the side, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because again, you're most likely going to be sleeving these cards just like you do with just about any other card game. There's a little less like spring and bend than you would normally feel. Here, I just grabbed some other cards from my desk. Like for example, we know that this is produced by Cardamundi. This is a Flesh and Blood playing card. Not a playing card, but a collectible card. This is a foil as well, so it may feel a little different than a non-foil. This one does have some more spring, I think. Dice Masters card. This one doesn't have as much spring as the Cardamundi, but it feels very similar in general. This one's a little less matte and a little more smooth, but just like any other card game, you are going to be sleeving your cards, most likely. Goodness gracious, where's the top to this sleeve? Here it is. So once you sleeve it, I mean, it feels just like any other cards. It sleeves fine, fits the normal, this is a Dragon Shield matte jet sleeve, one of my favorite types of sleeve. And yeah, it just feels really, really good. Doesn't feel any different than anything else sleeved. It's probably about a millimeter thinner or smaller than like a standard Dice Masters card, or let's compare it to a Flesh and Blood card. Oh, it's like literally the exact same, perhaps. Yeah, it feels like the exact same. So size, dimensions wise, oops, wrong card. Dimensions wise, it feels just the same as those, and the quality is good enough, particularly when you sleeve it, that you're not going to really notice any difference, any real difference from any other card game. As far as the rest of the components are concerned, these dice feel heavy. I got them out and rolled them a little bit. They feel normal, like normal dice. Really, you're only using these to track your health and your opponent's health, so you're not really rolling them, but they do feel heavy and like nice dice overall. These feel a little plasticky, that you can feel the print line on them. If you've ever printed anything, it's hard to get that in focus. If you've ever printed anything, like 3D print, sometimes you get that print line. These feel kind of like that, but again, they're included in the thing. You don't really need to worry too much about just like the top quality token ever, and once you start playing, I'm sure you may sub in your own custom tokens like many people do, but they feel functional and they work. They're not going to scratch anything. They're kind of nice to look at. I like aesthetically the look of them, and I like the size overall. They're not giant. They fit nicely on some cards, which is nice. So yeah, overall the components I'm happy with. I looked at these mats as well. The thick paper mats, they're not like super thin. You're not going to rip these very easily by just wear and tear play. The fold on them isn't going to rip very soon overall. Plus, again, if you're diving into this head first and start to really play, I'm sure you can find play mats or print your own like most people do nowadays via a print website. So this whole package runs you about 40 bucks. I found it on Amazon.ca. Again, this was printed in Canada, so I found it via Amazon for about $40, which is about right for a 2-player starter set that comes with everything that you'd need to make 2 decks, not just one. Overall, I really like this product. I think it's a solid way to test the waters, see if you enjoy the tactical feel of this card game. And if you would like to win a copy of these, if you'd like me to mail you this exact beta starter set I'm holding right now, then subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment as to what you would like to see on the channel going forward, both with regards to Genesis Battle of Champions and just in general what you like about the channel. If you're new to the channel, like I said, feel free to like and subscribe the video, and as always, thank you for watching.